Folks, this industry has been rocketing. It has been the hottest industry in our system for over the last 5 weeks. Is it too late to get on board? Or is the party just starting? Stick with me to get the right answer. I am going to stop the argument about what to do with Bitcoin today. All right? I will phrase it this way. Bitcoin is on the rise. I am still going to call Bitcoin a speculative trade. And you're going to understand why I say that in a moment. Bitcoin is going up. By all means, take it. At the time that this story was put out on January 3rd, Bitcoin is at 34,000. As of today, Bitcoin is above 40,000. I'm not going to be afraid to tell you, I own some Bitcoin stocks. Currently, I'm sitting in Riot and Mara. I'm making money. So I don't want you to take my statement that it's a speculative trade and go, oh my gosh, I'm not going to trade it. I'm not telling you that. It is the hottest industry in our software. So I'm going to tell you, take it. Is it too late? Did it take off and you missed it? Because exactly what it's doing. It is flying like an eagle to the sea. It's flying like an eagle. Let my spirit carry me. Because time keeps on trekking to the future. Bitcoin is on the rise. Now, let me ask you the question. Did the train leave the station? No. I still think that Bitcoin has some good upside. So Bitcoin, this story talks about Bitcoin topping 34,000 as the rally extends into 2021. While most markets were closed over the first weekend in 2021, an eye-popping rally for Bitcoin continued. At the time of writing, Bitcoin was up 14% to over 34,000, with more traders and institutional investors betting on crypto to become a mainstream payment method. That we've done stories on here in Trending Thursday. If you haven't subscribed to the channel where you can go back and look at all of our stories that we've done on Riot and on Mara and on Bitcoin, do so. All right, we've been talking positively about it. I'm still going to tell you that it's a speculative trade, and again, I'm going to show you why in a second. All right, but it's rocketing, it's rolling. It is higher than 40,000 right now, and guess what? Hold on, not that one. The JP Morgan story says Bitcoin to rise to 146,000. Now that's news. That's a story. And that says as a long term as it competes with gold. Now, there was a story done by Clayton DeBert that talked about zillennials, and that zillennials are, for the ease of paying for things, are really moving over to Bitcoin, moving over to digital currency. Not only that, JP Morgan Chase, the bank, is getting more so into Bitcoin. Payment services like PayPal and Square are getting into Bitcoin. It is getting some traction that for the past few years, it was really like, a silly man's game. Well, the big boys are starting to come to the table on Bitcoin. All right. So as the big boys start coming to the table, it's going to gain more traction. But you know what else is going to happen? And we've done story on this as well. The government's going to step in and start to try to regulate. All right. And that may not be a good thing for Bitcoin. We'll talk about that when the time comes. But the federal government is starting to talk about trying to put some regulations on Bitcoin. We'll see how that works out. But for the purposes of what's going on right now, my other story that I jumped over, Bitcoin did pull back a little bit. Bitcoin's correction does not yet appear to be a trend reversal. Nothing is telling me that Bitcoin right now is going to have a way to go down just quite yet. So now, why is Glenn still saying that this is a speculative trade? Well, I'm glad you asked the question. Let me get back into the software, because I use the software to really analyze beyond just the news. That is why I still say that it is a speculative trade. All right. I've got two things that I'm looking at from this story, Mara. And for those of you who want to try to play the whole industry, I tried to find an ETF, and I'm probably going to do a little bit more work on it, but I found one called BLOK, BLOK, which pretty much is an ETF that tracks the space in one ETF. So we're going to take a look at that. But Marathon, let's analyze it real quick. Why do I call it this trade a speculative trade? We give a value on every stock, what we feel a stock is worth. The stock Marathon, which is a big mover in this space, is trading at $22.45, but it's got a value of $7.17. The stock is clearly way over its value. So our value is what we feel a stock is worth. Now let's look at our other indicators. Relative value, which looks at a stock's long-term upside potential. Long-term upside potential as compared to a AAA corporate bond. Okay? So when we look at relative value above 1, the stock's got good upside potential because this indicator is cast on a scale between 0 and 2, where below 1 is unfavorable. It's got a value, relative value is 0.78, below that value of 1. Long term, not ready yet. Not ready yet. Next indicator, relative safety. It is an indicator of risk for a stock. Above 1, the stock is less risky. Below 1, the stock is more risky. Relative safety on that same scaling between 0 and 2 is 0.76. Mara is still a speculative trade because it's a little bit more of a risky trade. Now, many of them say, no. Long term, it's going to go up. All right, I'm cool with that. But I'm going to take this again day at a time. Notice that Mara is up 30% today. Yeah. Now, quickly as it can go up 30% is as quickly as it can go down 30%. Another sign of a speculative trade. Now, what is helping it? Our indicator RT, which tells us if the stock is in an uptrend or not, is pegged at that scaling of 2. It is definitely in an uptrend. Now you get a better understanding of why I'm saying this is still a speculative trade. I'm not telling you not to make money. Well, I'd be a fool to tell you not to use it to make money. But long term, I'm not feeling it because of the fundamentals of the stock. Relative value and relative safety are our fundamental indicators. Now, what else? I do like the stock's a buy recommendation. I do like that they grow their earnings at a clip of 25%. They've got an earnings per share of 27 cents. Our earnings is forecasted 12 months out. So we're saying that by this time next year, they should be earning 27 cents per share. So that's a good thing. I love all of that about it. All right. And the other stock I'm looking at is BLOK, which again, if I right click on it, I want to show you something. Right click, and I'm going to look at the stock analysis report just so I can show you. You can get a full stock analysis report on any stock. Amplify Transformational Data Sharing ETF seeks to invest in companies involved in transformational data sharing tech. All right, I'm going to see if I can get a better ETF to look at the overall space, but right now for today, I'm looking at it. All right, and let's go take a look at both of these on a graph. All right, let's take a look at both of these on a graph. Right click, view the stock graph. There's blockchain. There's the ETF. Wow, look at that. Above the 20-day exponential moving average. Look at the volume. Look at the relative timing. Again, I'd be a fool to tell you not to invest in it. But long term, looking at that relative value, there it is. Looking at that relative value, that's on the ETF. It's not going to show you that. Relative value, relative safety are going to be pegged at 1, but the stock is definitely in an uptrend. So that's trying to trade the whole space. BLOK sitting at $39 to trade the whole space. That may not be a bad trade if you want less exposure to it and still be able to make some money. All right? Here's Mara. Mara, look at that little pullback there, that little pullback there. It is rocking and rolling. Look at the rising volume. Look at the RT. Let's look at the relative value. Ooh. Look at that relative value pulling below 1 recently, even as the stock's price is moving up. That's the upside long-term appreciation. Look at the relative safety. I do like that it's getting to be a safer stock. Still below the value of 1, but getting better. So I do like many aspects of this space, but I'm not afraid to tell you that it's still a speculative play right now. But if it's moving up, take advantage of it. See the big wick today? A little bit of give back. All right, it can still be a very volatile trade. I like if you're trying to get into this space, look at BLOK as a possibility. You have a lot less exposure to risk that way, a lot less money being invested, but still pretty much taking advantage of this space. All right, hey, if you like this content, guess what? You can join us live every Thursday at 2 p.m. here on YouTube. Join VV Nation. We hope to see you there.